What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. Now normally on my channel I don't post 2 state of videos in a row, but Overwatch 2 is currently in what you might call a state of emergency, which is that the Overwatch 2 seasonal events kinda suck. If you thought this year's Halloween Terror event was underwhelming, well, then allow the Winter Wonderland event to introduce itself. With a total of only 9 challenges in this year's event, only about half of which actually give you cosmetic rewards, there is perhaps the least amount to do in this current Winter Wonderland event out of any event we've ever seen. Now, I will admit, one of these challenges does get you an actual skin, which is unique from the recent Halloween Terror event, and is definitely a nice change, which I appreciate seeing Blizzard do. The Brig Winter skin is a nice skin, and I'm glad that you can unlock it for free just by playing the game. However, unlike Halloween Terror, this recent Winter Wonderland event didn't get an exciting brand new PvE game mode added with it, and in fact got no new game modes whatsoever at all. The old Overwatch 1 winter game modes like Yeti Hunt and Maze Snowball Offensive did return, and those are the game modes you have to play to complete the challenges to actually unlock these different cosmetics in the new skin, but there haven't been any changes made for them. They're just the same old modes again, back for the umpteenth time, which means on their own, they're really not much to get hyped about. Maybe you like playing Yeti Hunt every now and again, but is that really a big reason to get excited for the seasonal event? Probably not. And arguably what's worse than all this is how Blizzard is actually handling the cosmetics of this latest seasonal event. As we all expected, the majority of new skins added with this event will be purchasable in the Overwatch 2 cosmetics shop, which means you have to spend Overwatch coins, which means you have to spend real money in order to get them, as opposed to just grinding them through the game, because let's be honest, the coins you get from weekly challenges are just not enough to actually get a skin in this game. But if even that wasn't a disappointing enough way of handling the event, this year's Winter Wonderland event launched with none of the Christmas skins actually in the cosmetics shop. And no, Rudolph Roadhog doesn't count, that's an old skin, so don't even bring that up with me. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the selection of skins we have currently for this week in the shop. I think they're all pretty good, but none of them are new winter-themed skins. The event launched today, or yesterday, or a few days ago, depending on when you're watching this video, and there were no skins to get, other than the Brig skin, of course. Now, we can see the skins in the hero gallery for the respective heroes, so we know that both Bastion and Echo will be getting new skins at some point during this event in the shop. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, we don't know. But the fact that Blizzard is having an event like this start and then just not putting any of the new relevantly themed items in the shop to actually get, on top of the measly few items you can actually unlock by completing the challenges, which, by the way, I completed all these challenges in only about 2 hours, so there's not a whole lot of content there on that side either. Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming, to say the least. Also, I feel like I'm obliged to say that it looks like we have another Mime Moira situation on our hands here with this new Gingerbread Bastion skin. This skin is literally just an epic skin. It's a recoloring of his base Overwatch 2 model with a slight model change to the head specifically, where he has the little gumdrop Santa hat instead of his normal baseball cap, and yet Blizzard is selling it as a legendary skin. Now, given that it hasn't actually entered the shop yet, we don't know exactly how much they'll be charging for this Gingerbread Bastion skin, but considering that it has the legendary rarity tier, yeah, we can expect it to be somewhere around 20 USD for what is essentially a recolor and just a really good epic skin. Yeah, seeing that isn't great. But coming down a bit now from just ranting and rambling about this year's Winter Wonderland event, I do think we can start to see a bit of a pattern emerge with how Blizzard is handling these seasonal events, and I think it's pretty clear that what they're doing at this point is sort of just, well, making them less of a big deal. It's clear at this point that Blizzard isn't really interested in making the seasonal routine Overwatch events the big exciting shebangs that they used to be back in Overwatch 1, and instead they're just little things which take place that let players replay the old seasonal event game modes and, maybe get a couple seasonal or real world holiday themed skins. But outside of that, they're just nothing, basically. I don't think anything emphasizes this more than the fact that the 2022 Overwatch Winter Wonderland event is the first seasonal event in Overwatch history to not have a corresponding trailer on the Play Overwatch YouTube channel. That's right, every single past event from Summer Games 2016 up to Halloween Terror 2022 got its own YouTube video highlighting the new content of that event, and that streak came to an end with this year's Winter Wonderland event. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't even necessarily disagree with the idea of Blizzard minimizing seasonal events and making them much smaller scale compared to what they used to be back in Overwatch 1. I think it can be nice to have mini events like this in a game like Overwatch, where it's just a little thing where there's a few things to get excited about and play without it having to be the big multi-week long ordeals that historically they have been. But I think the problem with how Blizzard is actually going about minimizing the old seasonal events is that it doesn't feel like there's very much that's replacing them. Sure, we have the Overwatch 2 seasons, where they have the big old battle pass and stuff to unlock, and all the different cosmetics that show up in the shop throughout that time period, but let's be honest, those aren't a terribly exciting way of presenting skins and cosmetics and progression in the game for the player. It's much more exciting to have these sort of seasonal events like Halloween, Winter Wonderland, Archives, Anniversary. It feels like you're celebrating a holiday in the game, and that is exciting. So for Blizzard to now just be sort of taking that away, essentially, by making the seasonal events pretty much nothing in terms of what they actually bring to the game, it just feels like we're losing more content, which honestly, given the state of Overwatch 2 at this point, is not something Blizzard can really afford to have happening. Now, maybe we'll see this start to change going forward, since we do have the upcoming Battle for Olympus game mode, which is going to be a limited time game mode that runs for a couple weeks in January. As far as we know, there aren't really going to be any cosmetics you can unlock alongside it. Sure, there's all the Greek mythology skins, but those are all going to be things you have to purchase in the shop, so that's not the same as, playing an event and earning skins for free, but we'll see going forward how Blizzard actually handles all this stuff. Again, it's still the early days of Overwatch 2. There's a lot of room for Blizzard to improve and either make seasonal events exciting once again, or introduce new types of events and contents and ways to get cosmetics that actually get people excited again. But for the time being, yeah, sadly, you just have to admit that seasonal events aren't what they used to be. As much as people complained about them back in Overwatch 1, they're pretty much objectively worse now in Overwatch 2. And it's clear that Blizzard doesn't intend for them to be anything more than they are currently, but just considering the rest of the state of the game at this point, I think Blizzard is making a big mistake by not putting more emphasis on these events and not giving more reason for people to be excited about playing them. But these have just been my thoughts on Overwatch 2 seasonal events at the moment. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you upset to see that Blizzard isn't putting much effort into events in Overwatch 2? Or maybe you think they're going in the right direction and they just have to beef up the cosmetics and gameplay and stuff in other aspects of the game outside of just the seasonal events. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content, and special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.